this idea of cardio versus resistance training versus walking versus running versus all of that. Because I think one of the larger kind of mistakes that many people make when they start exercising is that trying usually to look better, move better, feel better, and predominantly, lose weight seems to be the motivating factor for most people getting into an exercise routine. And most commonly, people will choose the route of cardio. We've been told that cardio is amazing, and there is a little bit of truth to that. But like all things, it's balanced, it's nuanced, it's perspective, and there are some drawbacks to cardio too, especially when it becomes chronic. And this is how most people treat cardio. It's that idea, again, that a little bit is good, more of it is better. And then we end up with people pounding the pavement or jumping on the treadmill or getting in the gym and just grinding it out for hours and hours and hours of the week in this kind of no man's zone of training. It's a little too stressful to not be like walking and restorative, but it's not quite stressful enough to really force the adaptations and grow new muscle and give you all of the cognitive benefits. And you kind of end up in this wasteland of training where it actually just perpetuates stress. Stress perpetuates hunger. And the few hundred calories that maybe you burn during that workout will be massively offset because of those changes in your body that have you subconsciously, more often than not, foraging for a little bit of food, a little bit of extra this, a few extra slices of cheese, a little more helping of this serving of whatever it is. And now all of a sudden, the calories that your, machine or your Apple Watch told you that you've burned have been massively offset because that exercise was stressful on the body. And this is a point we really need to own and focus on. The exercise is stressful in the body. And we have to understand that because we've got to own it. There's only one form of exercise that is really not stressful on the body because most people don't even see it as exercise. That's just taking a walk. And I want to talk about that, and I'm going to come back to it because that's incredibly beneficial. But anytime we think about elevating our heart rate, getting under the barbell, throwing some kettlebells around, crawling on the floor, getting on the treadmill, sprinting, it's stressful. And stress is stress is stress, and it comes at a cost. But if we find balance, that stress can be something that forces us to adapt positively too. These adaptive changes in our resting heart rate, our VO2 max, the quality of our muscle tissue, our strength, all of these things are very valuable. And you won't get them if you don't exercise, but the dose makes the poison. So this chronic cardio is not serving anybody. Attending 6 high-intensity interval workout classes a week or just pounding the pavement and doing more and more and more is too much stress. We'll often heard it said as you're overtraining. And I want to push back on that a little bit. It's kind of hard to overtrain because your body's very resilient, but it's very easy to under-recover. And I think that's what most people are suffering from. They are under-recovering. And this is where we start to weave in this healthy daily routine, these habits that are so important. Before we even think about how am I going to become this savage in the gym and how am I going to get after it and crush, are we focused on step 3 of our pyramid? Which is, what do your routines look like first, right? If you want to get in the gym, get after it, and get the results for your work, you better make sure you're sleeping solidly 7, minimum 8 hours or more a night in a nice, cold, dark room, restful environment, EMF-free, and really recovering. How are you starting the day? How are you managing your energy levels across the day? Also, let's throw in nutrition while we're at it. Our steps 1, are you eating nutrient-dense foods like organs? Are you putting fuel back in to recover as you're breaking the body down? Step 2, are you removing and eliminating processed foods? It's very stressful on your body to break down in the exercise process and then rebuild. It's going to have a harder time rebuilding if the body is in a perpetually inflamed state because of these highly stressful foods that are disrupting your hormones and your gut health and ultimately your recovery. So we need a little bit of a holistic view again. We shouldn't put the cart before the horse and just be like, I can outrun my bad diet. I can exercise out all of this. Because it's not true. You need multiple inputs and you need these healthy habits. We need to prioritize sleep. We need to prioritize stress management. Because if you're stressed, you're eating crap, you're underslept, you're under-recovered, and then you decide to throw on 6 workout classes a week, you're not serving yourself. You could potentially be doing more harm than good. And I know that's hard to wrap your head around because how could exercise ever be bad? But it's all about nuance. It's all about perspective. And I think it's good to really start with these solid foundations and then weave in this mindset of healthy movement. Hello friends, if you enjoyed that clip, then you can watch the entire thing by heading to this link over here, or you can find us wherever you find podcasts by searching Radical Health Radio. If there's value here, please hit that like button, let us know in a comment what your biggest takeaway was, and hit subscribe, support the show as we support you. We'll see you soon.